JTV. We're in Birmingham, Alabama at Hothouse Design Studios, and we're here to see my friend Mandy Majerik and give you a peek inside the hot stuff that goes on at Hothouse Design. Mandy.
Hey Jay.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Oh, it's good to see you again.
It's nice to see you too.
Welcome to Birmingham. I'm Mandy Majerik, and today we're in Birmingham, Alabama at my Hothouse Design Studio store. And primarily, I'm a wedding and event specialist. People come to me for the overall decor of a room, but my background is really in floral. That's where my heart and my passion is.
This is what I like to call the new age florist, because you've changed the concept that was the brick and mortar mom and pop store. It's still brick and mortar for everybody, but it's changed in how you deliver the floral product to the people.
Okay. We're not, we're not just what I consider your coffee mug and balloon kind of shop. Okay. People come here, they want the artful, distinctive design.
Show me around.
Well, you just came in, and this is our front desk, our counter. And I like to always create a little drama around. This over here is just kind of a nice little setting and more of an inspirational kind of area to show a little bit more of our prop rentals that we have, our benches, our candelabras. A lot of people like to see a little of that selection.
So now tell me about the white milk glass.
I started going to different stores and garage sales and flea market. And you never know what you're going to find at those things. But I started picking up one or two here, picking up another here. And so this is just a small amount of what the collection is. I've had a lot of requests for vintage looks and feels at weddings lately. Because we are in the South and people love that, reminiscent of their grandmother's sewing kit or things like that. And so we use a lot of buttons lately and different things. We've made a couple of button bouquets and people have loved that. So at our recent wedding show, I did a tablescape and used all this white milk glass bud vases and big compotes and things like that down the table. Very Martha Stewart inspired. And it was so simple. It was more colorful in the color impact.
Right.
It was beautiful, and that's what people noticed. And people commented, like, oh my gosh, it's the simplest thing, but in repetition and number, makes such a great impact. Well, Jake, this is our showroom.
Okay.
You want to come see where the real work happens?
Yeah, let's go back there.
Let's go.
Cool. So this is where the magic happens.
Yes, all the hard work. What do you mean the magic? The hard work. Yeah.
Well, it's magic for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But this is where I store a lot of my containers. So I've kind of done them in collections to where it's a little more impactful if a girl kind of wants to come and look at a few different container styles.
So you keep your workroom. This is intentional. This is not just throw all that stuff in the back room, please.
Right. I have one of those as well.
Oh,
but we won't film that today. This is the pretty.
This is the pretty workroom part.
Definitely.
That's very cool, though. I love that.
And it helps me stay organized more than anything. So that way, mentally, I can think, oh, I have so many of these containers and so many of these.
So today, we're gonna do a little project with you. It's kind of special event oriented.
Very, yes.
Okay.
Because here, I have a lot of the props, the big urns, the big statuary that gives the impact when people come into the space. But I'm a flower lover at heart, and that's where my passion is. And so I will accent and adorn those things with flowers. So that's what we're going to do today. There's a big goddess statue, and we're going to drape her in beautiful Amy's orchid garlands.
I love that. Amy's orchid garlands are so beautiful. And again, she custom makes these.
Yeah.
Such a great thing. And I see we've got calla lilies from Calico. Got some gorgeous aspidistra leaves, and this is also some Amy's foliage as well. And then some gorgeous yellow roses too. All right.
Are you ready to get started?
Let's get started. So Mandy is treating us just like family here. We are going to do this on location. And so you were talking about this, and you said you like to do something that gives a lot of impact.
Sure. Yes.
And that it's quick and easy to do, but yet it looks like a lot for your customers.
Definitely, yes.
And so you're going to kind of show us one of those little magic secrets that you do today.
Yeah, definitely,
okay, cool.
definitely. This is one of our goddess statues.
All right.
And they have little birds, but kind of one of my techniques is to take a little half of an oasis sphere and kind of just tuck it down there.
Okay.
All right, so that's going to be our base, and then we're going to put a few floral in here, and then we're going to take the garland and kind of drape her and make her look very luscious and kind of bring her to life a little bit. I always use, well, I shouldn't say always, but most of the time my arrangements have aspidistra leaves and lily grass.
Okay.
And we're going to make
so
a
it's like a signature for you.
Yes, very much so. And normally what I do is I'll just fold them over, poke a little hole through just like that, because I like it to take up space. And the foliage, to me, is just as interesting sometimes as the flowers themselves. foliage, you know, definitely takes a lot of space and gives a lot of personality. Oh, got one cut here. And it helps kind of cover up a little bit since we don't have that oasis all the way to the bottom. You can kind of just play with it a little bit. And then I like to pop a few out of those. So you have a little more.
Gotcha.
So you've got a little bit of that rolled base, and then you let a little bit of this come out. All right, so we've got our base done.
Okay, cool. What's next?
Let's go with some yellow roses.
Okay.
I love this. Now, next time I have a wedding, are you going to be around? Right? Now, one pet peeve of mine is to make sure that we pull off the birthing petals.
Okay.
Okay. Look. You can toss them.
I'll toss them later.
Right. And you know, that's also a great tip if you do a lot of wedding work. You know, this is on location, so sometimes if I have petals for you know, little flower girls, then I will use these petals instead of tearing up brand new roses.
Gotcha.
Perfectly good usable roses. I'll just do this, and once you do a pack of 25, you've got quite a lot of petals left.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to kind of start, and I'm going to make this an attractive, colorful focal here in the front.
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer in visually, when you look at something, seeing the color impact and grouping the flowers together for emphasis. So I'm just going to do a nice clean line of the yellow roses going straight through here.
Right.
Just like that.
Okay, next.
We'll do the green goddess callus.
Okay. You know, we have part of the California experience on UBloom. We went to Calico to actually see where these are grown. These green goddess callus are grown on a beach. They're a beautiful piece of property, and it's the beach is right there, and then the calla fields are right next door with these beautiful callus. So I mean, they're just grown in such a great spot.
Beautiful.
And Frank and Christy and Mike and everybody out there were just so wonderful to us when we were there. It was amazing to see the stuff that they're doing.
And you know, if you're really pressed for time when you're doing events, you can always create this at your studio and just lift the ball off, sit it maybe on a cylinder or something to travel.
Gotcha.
And then just pop it right back in place when you get there.
Really good idea. Leaves?
Yes.
All right. Love these.
Aren't these gorgeous? And I always love to have something different and something interesting. Because, you know, in my market, there's so many mass marketers that sell flowers these days.
Okay.
So when I can give people something like this, they don't know what it is, they don't know where it came from, it's not available at some of the mass marketers. So I always try to put a little bit of this into my event work too. Because this, even though it's just a foliage, it's different, and people love different, and they come to expect that from me, that they just can't run out to the store. They know that I've ordered it in special, things like that. So.
Right.
Kind of going to make sure that they kind of go behind the callus a little bit, so you can still see that beautiful form. And I love to layer it, that, you know, that technique.
Yeah.
Kind of come back under and
That depth and dimension. And again, because you're just poked on the top, you're using underneath on the bottom side of your oasis sphere too, so you got plenty of room.
all right, so I've brought some lily grass back.
Okay.
And one thing I do a lot of times when I'm working in Oasis in event work, I just will do is still pick on one end.
Oh, okay.
Flip it back so it has a little bit more movement. And still pick it again, so it's really easy to insert into our arrangement.
Perfect.
Now,
I love that.
I personally, if you'll hold that for me.
Sure.
I love lily grass because it just sometimes adds that little bit of movement that you need. All right.
Okay.
And then we'll stick a couple of pieces coming out of the bottom, just to give it a little bit more of that length.
Right.
So we'll just kind of come back under here, stick a little bit of this in. All right, I think we're ready for our orchids.
Perfect. So, custom made lengths. Amy will make any length that you want.
These are, I think, 6 feet.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
Triple 6 feet. And you know what, you're a little bit higher. So
okay.
if you want to kind of wrap that around her neck a little bit.
Okay, so am I doing it like she's am I going this way?
Yeah, come around this way.
Okay.
And keep feeding it around here. Okay. I think we'll kind of just let this one kind of come over and hide maybe a little bit where it can fill in.
I wonder what you were going to do there.
There we go. Kind of let this piece come over this way. And just kind of what I like about this is when it kind of puddles, if you have the budget to maybe order an extra length or something like that. And I think, you know, if this was actually on location for something, I probably would continue this and kind of let it fall into the floor.
Sure.
Especially if this was on a tabletop.
Right.
It was like a food table centerpiece or an entry centerpiece. Definitely would kind of let it come down and cluster candles at the bottom and things like that to kind of give her a little romantic look.
Absolutely. Mandy, thank you for sharing this with us. It was so much fun. And I love watching you work because there's a creative spirit there that's so important, and I think you've shared so much of that with us today. What's your favorite part about being a florist?
Get them to come up with creative ideas. I like that. People, my reputation here in Birmingham and also, you know, on Facebook and things like that is people see pictures of things that I do that are very different. Not afraid of a challenge. I like to kind of come from that aspect of, I know in my mind what I think is going to look good for that space or for that bride, and then it's my challenge to create it. You know, from the bare bones structure itself to covering it with some sort of beautiful floral material. And I think that's my advantage with having that floral background and being that floral designer, is they know that the end result is going to be beautiful as the steps that it takes. So it's just from taking the concept and listening to the words, description that she gives me of what she thinks her beautiful day is going to be, and to be able to actually go through the construction of it and come up with this beautiful, beautiful thing.
I have to tell you this, and I told you this the other night, at Alabama State they gave me the Camellia Award, which was a really nice honor, and I really appreciate that.
Very deserving.
Thank you. I always think about who are we leaving our industry to, and who's the next generation, who are the caretakers, and who are the people who are going to take care of our industry for us. I know that that's you. And when I met you and I saw how vibrant you were and the things that you're doing and how you're changing things in the industry and how you have a new look that we see, I wanted everybody at U Bloom and on JTV to be able to see you and where you come from, because I think these are the hands that we're leaving the industry in. And with great people like Mandy Majerik, our industry is only going to soar higher and higher. So I really appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Oh, anytime.
All right, well, you take care.
You too. Have a safe trip back home.
All right, we'll do it.
All right.
See you later.
See ya.